Okay. Hello and welcome. Oh, wait, I should actually wait for the preview to pop up real quick. Yeah, I did. Okay. Sorry, it's going to be a bit laggy out the gate. I know that's going to turn quite a few people off. Another thing that I'm going to say is also going to turn people off. If I sound any bit congested, nasally, anything like that in this video, it's because I'm just getting over getting sick. But I definitely wanted to talk about Splitgate before this was all said and done, because it's what I've been playing quite a bit in the meantime while I've been sick. Um, so for those of you that don't know, Splitgate 2 is a first-person shooter that is a homage to the classical 360 era shooters. The actual like hook, I guess I would say, is a shooter with portals. Like as you can see, he's putting a portal down, shooting through it, someone's getting shot on the other side. Simple concept, especially after Portal did it. Like it's easy to see how. Like I'm surprised it took so long for someone to make a game like. Well, it's a two, so someone's made a game like it before. But this game's really fucking good. Not gonna lie, even though it's just in beta right now, and I do believe it's going to have some monetization issues. But I'm going to go into each of the 360 era games that it pays homage to. And then after I go into each of the 360 era games that and what it puts into the blender to make Splitgate 2, then I'm going to go into why exactly I think Splitgate 2 is as good as I'm saying it is, and why I think FPSs should move this way in the future if they aren't already. I am not going to lie, I've been out of the FPS scene for a hot minute. I haven't really played an FPS hardcore since, I want to say Black Ops 2. I want to say, yeah, that was the last time I really hardcore played an FPS. So this is my era of gaming right here. Or, well, first person shooter gaming. And in Splitgate 2, I definitely see the weapons and a lot of the map layout of Halo added into the blender. The portals of Portal obviously added into the blender, and the portal physics of Portal. The class system reminds me a lot of Destiny, and it also reminds me a lot of Overwatch in a way, but not in the same way as like a hero shooter does. It just in the way that like you kind of have a super. It's closer to Destiny, honestly, than it is Overwatch. Um, and then it's got the feel, and I want to say like the gunplay, how you move, the sliding isn't like Modern Warfare 2. The sliding is actually closer to Halo 3 and Destiny here, but like how you actually maneuver your character and how you shoot and everything is like Modern Warfare 2. Plus, there's also one of the classes that I said from Destiny that is literally his entire loadout and his gun layout and everything is just a Modern Warfare 2 character. He's literally there for you guys that are from this game to go into. And that's the other thing that I was going to say. There's a little something for everybody in here that you can create your own play style. If you're a Halo fan, you can go towards the Halo content that they've created and build your play style towards that. If you're a Modern Warfare fan, you can gear yourself towards the Modern Warfare stuff that they put in there and start building your like character towards that. Destiny, well, like I said, the builds kind of already are like how Destiny was in the first place, but they're just not in an MMO style and everything. It's there's not even a rank system in the game yet. It's just team deathmatch. You spawn in, you go, you fucking shoot each other, you keep going. But all of this goes into the blender to create Splitgate 2. And it creates a shooter feeling that I haven't felt in years. And it's straight from these eras. And it's because it literally takes all of these games, throws them in the blender, and then you get this game out the other side. And I don't believe this is where the game has its long lasting addictiveness and where I think like FPSs in general should be moving towards, because this is what really started to like hook me into wanting to play the game more. And that is well, we'll get into it a little bit more here. I'm gonna go over to the text feature real quick and type it out. I should have been more prepared, but oh, yeah, not that one. That's not good. Let me get it up here more. And that is, or how do I put this actually? So in the game, I'm gonna abandon the text feature. That was just a useless part of the video. I'm sorry about that. Um, So in the game, you get your characters and you get the progression system of like how old school Modern Warfare 2 and how Halo 3 was. You start with a limited amount of loadouts, a limited amount of guns that you can actually go into the game. Or actually, I don't think Halo 3 had that. I think Halo 3 you actually dropped in with just your normal weapons and then you went and found weapons. But it does also do the ultimate thing that Halo 3 and Destiny did, where a heavy weapon will appear on the map and you can go grab it. There's a gravity hammer that's exactly straight out of fucking Halo 3, and the sniper rifle might as well be out of either of these games as well. Um, but you have your loadout that you eventually level your class and unlock more guns, more perks for your character, more equipment for your character, and more like attachments for your weapons and stuff like that. And all of these things that you unlock, you can actually mismatch in a way to create your own class, I guess to say. So like a lot of this game takes like teamwork, and you need like a specific healer, and you need like someone who's going to do damage, and you need someone who's going to be tanky, but you're not necessarily locked into those roles based on the class you choose. You can actually build out whatever build you want based on the fact. Well, they call them factions, but I'm going to call them classes for a little bit. Like I chose the Meridian class, which is I'm gonna assume is supposed to be like the healer class, or like the sniper, like supposed to be like the long shot class and everything like that. And the way I built it out is that I am just a fucking tanky sniper. If you get in a long distance confrontation with me, it's just over. It's over for you no matter what. It doesn't matter. I have been able to build this out in a way that I'm able to what's the word? Account for every situation in the matter. The only thing that I can account for is the possible portal aspect of it. And I do kind of want to get into here in a little bit why um the portal aspect of this actually makes this game like it makes you think in ways that these shooters never made you think. Like literally ever. And so I think I am done with the blender analogy, and I think I am going to get into some of the like tactics and stuff you can do in this game to really like what makes it different and everything like that. So like, oh, sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent here. What I did want to get into though, and what I think, what I was getting into and everything, and why I think this game is a really, really good shooter, and why I think other shooters should follow suit is like I said, you can build your own class. Make that wider a little bit. So instead of like you having a hero shooter where you have to pick a character and you have to learn that character, you instead make your character and you build that character out to be that class. And I think this is 10 times more engaging than just a character select screen or a loadout select screen, because this needs engagement. It creates what I'm going to create a video on it, on how builds and video games and how skill trees and everything actually work almost like a puzzle for the brain, and how the gameplay feedback, like when you shoot an enemy, if they take more damage, is actually the reward for solving the puzzle. And games that create this puzzle for you to solve always are 10 times more engaging than games that don't, that just give you the gun and let you run. Those games still have their place. Like Call of Duty will always be like a thing and everything else like that. Um, but like after 3 or 4 rounds, I get bored of that. Even if I'm winning the entire time, I eventually am like, okay, I'm done with this. That was fun. There's nothing for me here. It's just shooting people. And like, while that is fun, it gets boring after a while. But me building something and working towards something and then getting the reward of being overpowered. Well, and like that's the other thing I want to give the game is that you do feel overpowered, but the game is still balanced in a way that a new player could still take me on. I'm just a lot more of a challenge than a lower grade player, like someone who hasn't leveled their character. Because I've almost got the Meridian class up all the way to max level, and I intend to get it to max level by the end of the day, probably today. Um, but giving you this progression to build towards and making your character your own is always going to be 10 times more engaging and 10 times more satisfying to the player and make the player want to come back and feel like that character is their own. Whereas, like, you go into Overwatch and you choose Junkrat for the 50th time, and it's no different than all the other times you did nothing to even have the character the way they are. They're just built that way. And I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but it creates other issues. Like now you have to balance other characters around that certain character, which I mean, you can still have the issue with the loadout system because like you can have specific endgame builds, and that's why I'm praising the game for having uh, the balance that it does, because it feels like no build is super overpowered. It feels like there's always a counter loadout to it. So you do have that problem, I guess, in the loadout system as well. But in like the hero system, like you can't choose two Junkrats, and if Junkrat's your main, well then now you're fucked, and your entire team now has a hindrance because you couldn't choose Junkrat, and the other guy, if he had to choose another character, might have been in the same boat. But now, if you both were able to build your own character into being a Junkrat-like character, but still be able to fulfill the role that your team needs, now you don't have that arguing over roles. Now every role that it needs to be fulfilled can be fulfilled and also is built in the play style of the player, so the player can still have fun and not feel like they're forced into making this decision. And that's really where I think a lot of like team-based shooters should start going. Like I'm really waiting for the day, because I know extraction shooters are kind of going in this direction and they get away with it mostly because they're not like uh one-on-one high like esports like contests and everything like that. But I really would like to see the day where like we have an esports ring where like everybody levels on like almost an RPG system. Not like a level 200 does more damage to a level 1, but like a level 200 might have more options than a level 1, and the combos that the different gear, equipment, and weapons in your loadout and weapon attachments gives you an advantage, yes, but that's your right because you ground towards that. Like you put in the work to get there. Now all of this goes out the window if Splitgate lets you just buy the progression. And then that unfortunately, well, it doesn't go out the window. It just gives that sense of achievement out the window because someone could just turn around and pay for the same amount of progression that you did and have the same amount of like access to the same materials that you do without putting in half the time that you did. But I'll also say another thing, that Splitgate 2's progression system, I put only like 8 hours into it, and I have almost a fully leveled class with two, almost three fully leveled weapons. And so like the progression system isn't really rigged against you. So I don't see them implementing a pay system. If they do, because I kind of see the infrastructure for it, but I've been looking through the app and I can't find exactly where, like, because you can buy things called upgrade points, but I can't find where to spend the upgrade points. So I'm gonna have to assume eventually you're going to be able to spend these upgrade points to upgrade the progression of your character and everything else like that. So that's going to feel bad for the players that actually worked for it, but it's going to also bring the players that don't feel like it up to that level. But at the same time, I also don't think you're going to need to pay for it personally, because like I said, even like the most dad gamer, I feel like with how the progression system is set up right now, on a double XP weekend, will be able to get a fully maxed character in maybe 4 or 5 hours. Like it shouldn't. It's really not going to be that difficult. So I don't see people paying being a giant issue in that matter. But like I was saying, I got off on a tangent again. I do that way too much in these videos. Um, what I was getting at though is that I feel like if more shooters start going in towards the build side of things and start getting synergies between equipments and weapons and perks and stuff like that, maybe give you like a perk that gives you um more damage the less ammo you have or something like that, or like just like cool things that you could like create synergies around and like really like create a build that like feels like your own, like you're really playing your own character. And I feel like that sort of thing, it will take FPSs from just, they're already like one of the biggest gaming like genres out there, but like I feel like it will take that negative stigma they have towards hardcore gamers. Like hardcore gamers are like, oh, that's a casual game. But I feel like adding in those less casual elements will bring us in. Will like pull people like me in. That will make me lose hours. Like actual hours. And especially if you make it feel like old 360 era like gameplay and like shooter gameplay and everything. Oh my lord. Like Splitgate's got me. Like I'm gonna be there. Like even like I play a lot of games, put them down and pick them back up. Splitgate 2 is going to be one of those games that even after I review this, and I've reviewed probably like 3 or 4, like 30, hell, actually, I will say it, like probably like 10, 15 other games, I'll probably still pick up Splitgate 2 just to fucking have a round or two. Because as I'm going to get into the tactics and everything, this game just makes you think different and than how shooters are. So, like, I'm going to set up a scenario that I literally was just in today. So, we got a corner here, and I was right here, right? Or I'll make it a little bigger. I'm right here, right? There is a wall right here, and there is an enemy coming down the hallway. They're coming this way. I'm running this way. This wall and this wall are portable. Like, I can put a portal on them. It's because some walls you can put portals on, some walls you can't. So I ran out this way. He spotted me. We got into a firefight. I doubled back and waited, and I dropped a healing grenade, which is something that my character does. And I have my character built in a way that I regen healing grenades fast. Just nonstop get healing grenades back to back to back to back to back. Especially if I have someone who has like the other classes all synergize together also. So if I have someone who's another class, I can't remember what it's called. It starts with an S. It's one of the uh it's the class that I said was specifically built for Call of Duty players, but that allows your equipment to regen faster. So if I have someone on my team that also has that, it's just nonstop. I can throw healing grenades. So I came out, we got in a firefight, I got into a pickle, came back, dropped my healing grenade, but before I came back, I shot a portal right here. So I portaled right there, doubled back, shot a healing grenade down, and then shot a portal down right here. I went into the portal, and he thought that I was trying to lure him. So he's waiting for me, thinking that I'm waiting for him. But no, gotcha, bitch. I came out the other side, got his ass. Stuff like that makes FPSs 10 times, like, makes the actual, like, strategy of FPSs 10 times, like, more engaging. Like, I felt so good being able to pull that off. It felt better than literally anything I've ever done in any, felt better than any fucking quick scope I've ever done. And that's saying something, because quick scopes are satisfying. They are satisfying as fuck. But being able to outmaneuver and actually out tactic someone in the battlefield using portals like that just feels satisfying. Another one is there's a map where you have zones that you need to capture, right? So there's a zone here and there's a zone here, and they're facing each other, and you can see each other, and like one team will be here and one team will be here, and they'll be shooting at each other. But the wall right behind the zone is portable. Like, you can put a portal on it. So what a lot of people end up doing is, instead of shooting, not only that, there's also a wall right here and a wall right here on both sides that you can also put portals down. So what people will do is they'll shoot a portal right there, and then shoot a portal right there, and then get out of the line of fire right here and like move over here. Well, they'll do one of two things. I run right through the portal, bum rush them on the other side, come out the other side and fuck them up. That's what I do. Is I bum rush them on the other side and fuck them up. But what people can also do is they can run to the side over here and just shoot through the portal and snipe them through the portal. Pew pew pew. Just fucking got them. Didn't even have to move your vulnerable position. I go to the other side because once you jump through to the other side, you start capturing, you start contesting, and when you contest, you can stop your opposing team from pointing and everything. So a lot of strategy with the portals added in, and a lot of strategy in the way you actually build your character and create classes and stuff. So this feels like a shooter that not only is rewarding your skill, it's also rewarding every part of what a video game should reward. It's rewarding your skill in the actual game. It's rewarding your brain for being able to figure out the puzzle of the build and being able to figure out the best play style for you. And it's also, oh shit, what was the last one? Fuck. I can't remember what my first. Oh man, fuck. I actually was on there for a second. But it's yeah, it's rewarding in the way you create your builds. It's rewarding in the way that you can outmaneuver people and actually use your skill in the game and use your brain. And it's also rewarding in the fact that it's an FPS shooter and you can actually visibly see like you finishing off an opponent in a strategic way that plays to your build, rewards your brain in a way that no other FPS right now I feel like can do, unfortunately. And like I feel like if they even implemented this in like a Warzone style, like battle royale style, like map, things would be crazy. Because right now they already have, I think it's a four teams of 8, or if it's 3 teams of 8, it's one of the two. Or I'll put on a map and given an objective and they all fight over that. That's pretty fun. I feel like if we made that bigger, it'd be fucking chaos and that'd be great. Oh, and especially like you have your character like built the way you are, like if they continue on the way they are and they continue building on adding more weapons, adding more attachments, adding more perks, like we might actually have something that's like pretty fucking special here. Not gonna lie, guys. Like I think this could lay the groundwork for possibly one of the best FPSs ever, because I don't believe Splitgate 2 is really there yet either. There are some issues. Portals are a little finicky with like when you put them down and everything. Some perks don't feel as good as others, which I was talking about with the balance. Not a lot of them feel that way. The Call of Duty class that I was talking about was oh my god, it's the worst fucking class. At least from what I can see. Both of the other classes can heal, and I guess they decided that since that one can put down a shield, that was good enough. But since the shield is your ultimate, you never really have it, so it's not really that great. That character needs to be figured out, but it's also necessary because, like I said, it's got the passive perk that allows the rest of your teammates' equipment to reload faster. So it makes things like my character and then the other third class, which also has a heal equipment, which can be, they can also attach the other perks to make them regen quicker and everything like that. Like, so essentially that person is almost necessary, but there's no actual build to, there is one build that feels super good, but it also feels super cheap. And it's running around with the shotgunning the fuck out of people and then sticky grenading them. And while that has its place, it doesn't feel good in the build style that I was talking about, like the actual like building your character, because there's not really a lot of attachments and everything that go to that like improve that like run and gun style and everything on that character. I feel like if they add a couple more attachments and like really play into like that build, like the shotgun one, feel like it'd feel like a little bit better, and like a lot of my complaints would be gone with that. Um, Let me see if I got anything else in the chamber before I say goodbye here. Um, Trying to think of some other things that I really thought the game did well, and some other things that I thought it didn't do all that well. I think the maps could use a little bit more fleshing out. I do like that they're all supposed to be like sports arenas. You can even see like the crowd cheering in the background. Like the entire aesthetic for the game is like you're supposed to actually be playing in an esports league. And like this is supposed to be an actual like death sport that people watch. I like that. I like the whole theme of it, but I feel like the maps are they're they're designed around you being able to portal around. And once you get used to that, it's easier. But when I first started out, I was struggling. Things that seemed like they should have been hallways that led places just led to like portable like walls that were just portable. So like you would be running down. So there would be like a giant room, right? Here, I'll explain what I'm talking about. There's a room, right? And it's got 3 entrances. And this room is the lower level, right? And there's an upper level to it, but there's no ramps on the outside going to that upper level. And the upper level you can't actually jump pack onto. So the only thing you can think of is to go inside and then go down one of these 2 hallways. And one of these 2 hallways should, in theory, have stairs that lead upstairs. And there is one that has stairs that lead upstairs. And that's fine. But also how it's done is it's not like just like I'm actually drawing it wrong. That's why it's being described wrong. It's set up like this. And the stairs are right here. And you can walk in here, and since all the walls are the same color, it almost looks like you're in a dead end here. And you can go upstairs. And then like this area over here actually is a dead end with just portable walls. And like it'll be a wall that you can put a portal on, and then you can also see to the upstairs where you can put another portal. So like this is a dead end and you can get up technically, but you have to use the portal mechanic. And this over here just feels confusing. So there were so many times where like my zone was on the top up here and I had to get to it, but I had to spend like fucking 40, probably like let's say 40 seconds to probably almost a full 2 minutes trying to find my way to the actual zone, which is really detrimental in a match where like you're down to the wire. So like I said, like the map layouts could use a little work. They're like they could add more stuff to the builds. There could be a little bit more like balance to like a couple of the characters. Um, but other than that, I feel like this is where FPSs should be going, and I feel like we should be trying to add in little tinges, like what is it, little gimmicks like the portal that like you don't necessarily, because that's the other thing I wanted to get at. While the portal is a gimmick, you don't actually have to use it. I played for, I want to say, like 3 or 4 hours without ever using an actual portal. It wasn't until I really started getting hardcore into the game that I started using the portals and started, like, really using the portal meta and everything. But that's what it is. It's the meta. And it's not even the meta that you have to use, it's one that you can use. And that's the other thing that I would say that this game does. And that's where I had the graphic before. It feels like it takes all of these, it takes all the equipment, the weapons, the ideas from all of those Xbox 360 era shooters, puts them all into one place for you to mix and match them, and then use them how you want to use them to your advantage. So you create your own strategies. And that's where I think the future of FPSs should be. Not, okay, I got this loadout and it's this gun and it has this fire rate and okay, it's pretty good and I can add these couple of attachments to it, but they don't really do all that much. And like, it's really how they all synergize together and how you can actually build your character towards a role that I think we should start moving towards in the FPS like area of things. But anyways, I think that's all I got for right now. If you like the video, like it. If you want to support the channel, go play my games over on Steam. I'll have a link in the description below, or you can check them out on itch.io. I actually recently came out with a game called Drugs and Gambling that you can play for free on browser if you want to give it a try. I'll have a link to that in the description as well. Anyways, though, guys, if think that's all I got for today. Sorry about all the tangents. I really did fucking get all over the place. This idea I had in my head, but I didn't have it as fleshed out as the other ideas. So I kind of worked through this one on paper with you guys. Anyways, though, peace. Have a good